All right, it's 7:15 on the dot. I almost didn't get on time. My name is Brad Maushart. I'm a meteorologist here at Fox 19. It is the 7:15 First Alert Weather Show. And wow, what an evening, right? I thought this was, we were going to cruise right through a pretty nice Monday. We needed some rainfall. We were having it. I had a nice lunch, watching the rain come down the windows, and then wow, those storms really ramped up. We did have a slight risk today, so it's not like it came out of the blue, but, nothing like a little Monday spin-up session when you just want to have a nice Monday. Here's the good news. I just want to start off with that. All the storms are out of the area for right now. We have some lingering sprinkles from here to there, but all the strong storms have pushed well east of the area. And as you'll see here, we have no active watches, warnings, or advisories for the area anymore. So that's good news there. That is all since cleared out. I'm going to keep an eye on the Facebook here. Let me pull it up on this as well so we have an idea of any comments, questions, complaints, or suggestions pop up here. Let's see. Let's go over here real quick. A little late getting set up because we had a lot going on. All right. And this is going to be completely disheveled and disorganized, so I apologize in advance. Usually this is a nice polished product here at the 7:15 show. That's what I strive for, but not tonight. It's going to be a mess. There's the big picture. As you can see, good news, not a whole lot there showing up. If I even turn the sweeping radar on, you'll see that other than a few lingering sprinkles, we are in the clear for now. There's a slim chance we could see a strong storm later. There are some storms here off to the southwest. You can see starting to push back in here to southern Indiana. We'll keep an eye on those. They're not looking too great. And here's the good news. When you see storms roll through the afternoon hours, they take a lot of the energy with them, right? They fuel on that daytime heating. And now since it's already, 7 o'clock, that sun sets here at 7:35, just under 20 minutes from now, the atmosphere has no chance to recharge, right? It's not to say that some of these storms can't pick up a little bit of fuel out there, but they're going to be running into some worked over atmosphere. So that's good news for the rest of this evening. Greenfield, rest of the night. Stop saying you're ready for snow, Jeff. I'm over it. Jeff here loves the snow. It is still September, and it's still, we hit 90 degrees a couple days ago. Saturday was 91, I think, over at the airport. I had some stats. I was going to do a fun graphic for that, and then tornadoes happened, so that's just how Monday's going. Here's some stats for you. Anti-snow Brad over here. The earliest final 90-degree day of a season, of a year, right, was back on July the 1st in 1882. That's the last time we've ever been close to that, where our final 90-degree day was back in, the 1st of July. The latest, if you're looking forward to snow, Jeff, maybe look forward to an earlier than this date. The latest 90-degree day we had was back in 1939. I can't read my own handwriting, but that was October the 9th. 1999, we hit 90 degrees. That was our latest. Normally, our final 90-degree plus day, we usually see one in September. We've had it now. But our normal last day, the average date is the 5th. So we're well past that by quite a few days now. By 17 days. We've had 20 days of 90-degree plus heat this year. Just a little something, something. All right, let's hop back to this. Big picture again, not a whole lot happening in our area. We have still some severe storms there heading off to the east. If you guys got to check out some of the new radar stuff since we did the old graphics overhaul. I don't know. Maybe tell me if you like it. Maybe you hate it. I don't know. Just be nice because I did it. But here's some of the new graphics you can see popping up on the screen there. I'll even make it full so you can see it. These are outside of our area again, moving east through southern Ohio. These will be heading over towards Charleston. But you can see that bow echo. Kind of like it bows out like a bow and arrow, right? You can see it. Hold on, let me draw it on there. It's going to have an arrow on it, but you can see that little bow back and forth here on the front end of that storm. What that means is that this storm is basically, it's got some air rushing out. Oh boy. That's what I get for trying to draw on this thing. That was a terrible idea. I wish this had like a better telestrator. That's what I want in my life. So you can see like how it's getting pushed out there in the middle. That's a good idea that you got some damaging wind racing straight out that way. And the apex of that bow is where you could have some real wind damage. So keep an eye on that. Right now they have a tornado possible tag on there. That's what that red outline is. And the threat there in red, if you haven't heard of impact tags, sometimes they'll label these severe storms with a tag. Sometimes it's, a potentially dangerous situation or a tornado emergency. Sometimes you'll see something like that. In this case, with severe storms, you can get destructive severe storms, or in this case, tornado possible tag, where you could have little spin-ups, which was what we kind of dealt with earlier this afternoon. Hopefully you didn't run into too much damage. I do know that earlier, and I don't have it pulled up over here, but earlier I did get a notification. that we had, hold please, I want to get the number right, 541 customers down in Bracken County. So that's in Kentucky, Bracken County, near Augusta, right? 541 customers without power. That doesn't sound like a lot, right? But that's one of our more rural counties. That's 541 out of 5,481. So if you do the quick math there, that's almost 10%. So almost 10% of Bracken County is without power. I don't know if that's been turned on yet or not, but that's the county I'm going to put right there in the center of your screen with Brooksville in it, right? Let's go back a little bit. I told you this is going to be off the cuff. Who knows what's going to happen in the 7:15 show? I don't. That's for sure. I'm going to throw the rotation on and show you where that went through. Right, this is what a product we call rotation tracks. I'm going to back it up maybe the last 3 hours. We'll see what happens here. But you'll see that area of rotation, I back this up to about 5, well, it goes out for an hour at a time, right, or 30 minutes at a time. So this gives you about, let me see here. Let me see what this has going on. I want to get it right for you. It goes out, I believe, to an hour of time. So you can see where that track of rotation, what this is showing you, it's a product that looks through all the radar data, it depicts where it thinks rotation happened. And the brighter the colors, when you start getting into the blues and greens, I mean, that's a really good indication you had some spinning going on with that storm that rolled through southeastern Pendleton County into Bracken County there. Even a purple shade can still indicate, potential tornado. So that is an area we'll have to look at for damage reports as that storm rolled off towards the northeast. That storm did carry on over. We had several little tracks rolling here at one time in our southeasternmost communities. That's where that slight risk was. So you can see kind of almost 4 individual tracks of rotation that pushed it their way across, which is why we had numerous tornado warnings happening. We had this one that pushed through Lewis County and then clipped through our southeasternmost portion of the tri-state here, Adams County, right across the river from Vanceburg. We had another one that pushed through Mason County and into southwestern Adams County and pushed its way across and out of the area. We had another one. This was the original one, right? If I back this up a little bit further, you'll see how that's the same track. It's just a different time period, right? So that same storm then kind of fizzled out as it moved its way through Brown County. Big night in Brown County. They have the Brown County Fair happening in Georgetown right there in the center of the screen. So that's a big outdoor event. I'm sure a lot of people were seeking shelter for that. Georgetown was under the tornado warning, but at no time was Georgetown really in the direct line of that area of rotation. We had some rotation to the north of Georgetown. You can see which started up here. We had that other area, that other storm that prompted us to cut in and go wall to wall and kind of blow out the news coverage, right? We had this area of rotation, but Georgetown was kind of in the clear that whole time. And we were trying to communicate that. I mean, it doesn't hurt to get to a safe spot just to be safe because, with this kind of a setup, it's tough. It's a squall line, basically. What that means is a line of storms, and you have kind of embedded areas of rotation on the leading edge of it. And sometimes they pop up in between radar scans, right? You can see down here that there wasn't any rotation, and boom, you have rotation again in east central Adams County. So those areas of rotation, something we'll keep an eye on. I will also pull up here some of the storm reports because we had a few near the area. The one of which was probably in the same area here, near Bracken County. The report itself was actually for Ripley, Ohio, on the other side, the Ohio side of the river, right? That little tree icon in the center of your screen there, that is a damage report. Now, Bracken County is the one that has Augusta and Brooksville in it, if you're unfamiliar. And in here, I will show you this report once I find the button. Bear with me. New stuff. That was a thunderstorm wind damage report, right, for Brown County, Ohio. Those little icons showing up on your screen right here, right? That was at 5:28 as that area of rotation pushed over. Can't rule out a tornado. Could be straight line wind damage, and sometimes you just got to survey that. So for right now, it's showing up as thunderstorm wind damage at 5:28. Brown County, southernmost Brown County in the city of Ripley. Multiple trees were down there on 52, and 52 is the road here, that yellow road that cuts, right along the Ohio River, basically. And that was between Higginsport and Ripley. So a lot of trees down in that area. And I wouldn't be surprised, because I didn't get a report, but don't be surprised if this is the part of Bracken County, or maybe even southwestern Bracken County, that had the power outages. I haven't got any official reports on what communities. I just have a county-by-county level, but about 10% of this county right here without power out there, and hopefully some of that's gotten turned on because that was a few hours ago. But that's what we're dealing with out there this evening. Again, in the clear, we had one more damage report just outside of our area. It was just to the east of Vanceburg, just to the east of Adams County, and we're going to put a query on that as well. That was over near the city of Rome. Trees down on 52, not having a great night, I'll tell you that. 52, more trees down there. If you're trying to take 52, you're going to be running into some problems. That was a little later at 6:13, so about, as I choke on Gatorade, 45 minutes later or so, as that storm pressed east. Again, didn't really come as a surprise. We'll back this out here. We did have a slight risk in play. It's a 2 out of 5. A lot of people don't realize that this time of the year, when you're not experiencing a half or 3/4 of a month of drought, this is a transition period for the Ohio Valley. We're going, today's the first day of fall. By the way, happy fall, everybody. I almost blew that. Fall began officially at 2 o'clock, 2 something this, I think it's 2:12 this afternoon. Fall is now here. As we transition out of summer and head into fall, we get what we call in this area kind of a second season, right? A little second wind. It's that transition period. That is how you get, the severe weather. You get these air masses to mix, cooler air mixing with warm, moisture-rich air. During the summer, you can get some severe storms. It's not impossible, right? But generally, some of your more potent storms, more of your tornado-producing storms happen in the spring and in the fall, when you're going from cold to hot, and now hot to cold. It's that transition period. So kind of a second season. It doesn't start on the first day of fall. It doesn't have to, right? It just happened to today. But, great time to remind you, download the First Alert Weather app. Search for that Fox 19 Weather app, whatever you want to search for. It's on our website as too, on the weather page. You can find a link to it. Great app to have. Because if you were in any of these areas that saw the warnings today, you get push notifications sent right to the palm of your hand. If there's any lightning in your area, you can turn on those notifications, precipitation. You can turn on anything, right? And just get the forecast, too, if it's a quiet day, so you know how to plan your weekend. But great to have this time of the year in particular, because while the first 20-something days of September were kind of boring, right? We had a big drought going. We still have a drought going. You can also get some stronger storms this time of the year, and that's what we had outside today. Let's fast forward a little bit, because I do want to give you a first alert that we are going to see some strong storms again, potentially on Wednesday. It's a couple days away, but the majority of the tri-state does have a marginal risk in play. And while I was ignoring everybody, the comments section is filled up. Hold, please. I'm going to turn the Facebook back on over here. Hold on. I got to get back in here. Sorry. I apologize. I got distracted in my not organized stream this evening. Let's see. Jeff's still talking about the snow. It is not better than severe weather. I will take this over snow anytime. Let's see. Jeff, also another Jeff. What is it with Jeffs and snow? I got Jeff wanting snow. I got another Jeff wanting snow. Ryan here saying, will the Reds game, how's that going to be on Wednesday? Okay, so that's kind of where we're going with this stream now. So, Ryan, I have unintentionally answered your question or getting close to answering that, so stay tuned. We're getting there. Wednesday will be our next stormiest day. Rain and storms are going to be likely, and those storms, the rain could be intense at times. I think Wednesday our bigger threat, not so much a tornado threat, but we could see some damaging wind, and we're going to see a lot of rain. When you have a drought, you want rain, right? I mean, that's the cure to the drought. You don't want it all at once. Luckily, our rain chances the next couple of days are kind of spread out. That's good news. But Wednesday, we could see a little bit more than we want at one time, and that's why we could see some flooding issues. Nonetheless, a marginal risk for damaging wind as well. It's a low-end threat, but as you saw today, it does not have to be a high-risk day. You can still see some messy weather. It's still impactful weather, right? What's the weather for Canton, Ohio tomorrow morning? Canton, that is a ways away. I cannot guarantee it, but I would assume that you're still going to be seeing some lingering showers early tomorrow, maybe through about midday. This is my best guess based on what weather we are seeing and how that storm system's moving, without actually looking it up for you. But I would assume that you'll see some storms for about midday and then drier weather the later you get into Tuesday, before this next storm system rolls in. That's a bad answer, but it's the best answer I had on the fly. Let's see, what else? Anything severe for the rest of the week? Jeff answered that one. Good luck to the Reds. Yes, is it in here? I thought there used to be a broom in here. Excuse me while I step off camera like a professional. No, there's not. There used to be a big red broom in here. I was going to try to throw it to myself. Be cool. Anyway, the Reds sweeping the Cubs. What a weekend. We had, Oktoberfest. Went off without a hitch. It was great. Hopefully you got to get out and enjoy that. It was a little hot. Like I said, Saturday we hit the 90s. And, the Reds were red hot. They're back in it. And, I mean, it's their wild card spot to lose. They're in the slot. They're in not pole position. They're in third place. But that's all you need for the wild card. They're in the number 3 slot, and that is where you need to be for the postseason with, 6 games to go? That starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's game looks good. If you're heading to the Reds game on Tuesday, no terrible Tuesdays there. Wednesday is where you could get wet, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. And it's going to be tough because I don't know exactly how they're going to, postpone how that would work. Maybe a doubleheader on Thursday if it gets rained out Wednesday. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm not exactly sure how the Reds are going to want to proceed with that, but we'll keep an eye on that. So, yes, good luck to them. Good luck to FC Cincinnati, too. They're in the number 2 spot right now overall. We'll see how that works out. A couple games left for FC Cincinnati, too, including a home match on Sunday. It is Sunday, not Saturday. If you have one of the calendars, just a friendly reminder, they changed that date. It is now Sunday, which threw me off for a second. It's 7 o'clock. So FC Cincinnati with a 7 o'clock kick on Sunday against Orlando City. Will Aurora see any more storms tonight? Yes, there's still a chance we could see some more storms this evening. I don't think they're going to be on the strong side. I can't rule it out. It's a slim chance. It's not a zero chance, but it's a very slim chance. I'll throw on the radar here, and you can see a few more of these storms are still redeveloping here on the backside. Evansville seeing some rumbles of thunder. So these are the storms we'll keep an eye on. But more often than not, it's going to be beneficial rainfall. Andrew and Darla both congratulating me if you missed it. I am engaged. I'm off the market. I'm so sorry. Yes, after a long while. I gave her many years to try to back out, and she didn't do it. So here we are. We're engaged. Thank you very much. That was Friday night, and it was fantastic. Weather was great. I picked the best day. I did. I was a little worried last week because it looked like there might be a chance for rain on Friday, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We got 20-something days of dry weather in a row. They've opened up like 17 Wawas since we last saw rain, and now it's going to rain on the one night. I've tried to plan all this stuff out. Anyway, it worked out perfectly. It was really, really nice. Let's see. Anything else for Highland County tonight? Yeah, I'm not expecting, again, much of you that are asking kind of the similar question, right? I do think the severe weather threat, for the most part, is over for just about everybody. But there is that chance we could see, still some rain and some storms this evening. Can't rule it out. And JD, I'm doing great. Thanks. Let's see. Congratulate. Yes, thank you, Susan. Appreciate that. We are very happy. I'd be happier if I didn't just spend the last couple of hours talking about tornadoes on a Monday, but here we are. As much as nobody likes tornadoes, I would rather talk about that than drought. It's a little bit more, nobody likes to talk about drought, but I mean, that's the number one, one of the biggest disasters you can get in the country. I mean, outside of hurricanes. So we've been experiencing it, and as they pointed out, I was not here Thursday or Friday. Part of that was we had some visitors in from out of town to help celebrate our engagement. But as Aaron and meteorologist Aaron Ashley and meteorologist Catherine Bodak and meteorologist Anna Duvall all kind of talked about last week is that, this drought did worsen. Let me see. Do I have an updated one here? Let me see. That's an old one. Bear with me. I'm trying to do this on the fly today. It's going to be one of those days. Give it a second here to load. That's an old map. Here we go. Hold that thought. Ignore that. And now, without further ado, let's go back to the default view. All right, that's the updated drought monitor for this week. So everybody has, in the tri-state, moderate drought conditions. It's the first level of drought outside of abnormally dry in the yellow, right? The southeastern corner of Adams County, basically the same southeastern corner of Adams County that has a tornado warning, is the only part of the tri-state right now that has a severe drought in the orange shaded area. So nasty stuff. The best way to get rid of a drought is to have several days in a row, of consistent rainfall. Not too heavy because then you deal with flooding. What happens is, when the ground gets really dry like this, it almost turns into concrete, and then all the rain washes off without if it's really heavy, without a chance to soak in. So you don't want a lot of heavy rainfall right away, but several rounds of rain pushing on through does help. And we'll see how this gets updated on Thursday because we do have quite a bit of rain we could see between now and then. So we'll keep an eye on things through this evening. I'm not expecting much in the way of severe weather lingering out there. Here is a little map action. I'll show you two different models of the storms that are going to be pushing in. We'll go with map number 1 to give you kind of the general overview, what to expect. Some heavy rain at times, not out of the question for the rest of this evening. I don't know why this keeps turning off. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments here. Usually it's pretty good. No snow yet. Let's enjoy fall. I agree. And your audio is choppy on YouTube. I apologize. Might just be me. It might be YouTube. I'm not sure. Sometimes it gets weird when we're streaming to like 4 different places. Here's a weather timeline for tonight. Yeah, we could have some storms up until about 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not really expecting anything to be, if there's going to be anything severe, it's likely going to be before midnight. I say that and watch. I'll be stuck here late. We'll see what happens. Storms through about 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. Things will fizzle out for the morning drive. Outside of a light shower here and there through 8, 9 o'clock, I think that's about it. And then as we work our way through the afternoon, the later we get into Tuesday, the drier we are going to be. Let me show you another model that will show you a very similar thing. Another weather model. Let's see. Here is another one, which will show you, again, that line of storms pushing out. We could see a few more storms later on this evening. Here comes one that it has projected to come through Ripley and Dearborn counties, through Hamilton County. We'll keep an eye on these. Again, not particularly in the clear, but I'm not really expecting many of these after 10 or 11 to be strong or severe. We could see some rumbles of thunder through the overnight, but I mean, there's not going to be a lot of fuel for those to work with at that point. Kind of puny. And then by tomorrow afternoon, we're drying back out. Later we get in the day Tuesday, the drier we're going to be. More sunshine as well, and then the clouds thicken late Tuesday night ahead of round number 2. And this is going to be another severe weather threat day, another first alert weather day for Wednesday. And the biggest threat is going to be, flooding. I think we're going to see quite a bit of heavy rainfall from this, which should help with the drought as long as the ground can absorb some of it, right? But also a slim chance we could see some damaging wind. Let's talk tomorrow because the Reds are back in town. Back in town like they left. They're still in town with another series, another important series because they're in the driver's seat now. Reds taking on the Pirates. I don't know what game Skilly? He's pitching in. LSU guy, I think. And I'm not sure what game he's pitching in, but we got Hunter Green. I think they're probably that's going to be a great game. Just a pitching battle for that one. I'm not sure what night that's going to be. Maybe somebody knows more than I do. I just do weather. Let's see. Yes, I'm hoping they can make the playoffs. Right now it's theirs to lose, so we'll see. They got 3 games of the Pirates, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow, another warm day. Not hot by any means, but we're talking, upper 70s, low 80s in most spots. So here's the forecast. If you're heading to the game tomorrow, game number 1, just the slimmest of chances for storms. I think the later we get in the day, the better it's going to be. Wednesday's game, I think, could be a problem. Thursday looks pretty good too. And Thursday it's a midday game, so it's 6:40 for the game Tuesday, 6:40 first pitch for game number 2, which again could be an issue Wednesday, with storms in the forecast pretty much on and off through the day. And then by the time we hit Thursday, we should be drying back out. We'll see what happens with that. Nothing set in stone, but at least tomorrow looks pretty good. I mean, upper 70s for the first pitch, upper 60s by the time the game wraps up. That looks like September baseball. Meaningful September baseball, nonetheless. We'll take it. Let's hop down here. I'll show you the long term, and then we'll try to wrap things up. I don't want to hold people on here too long, and by you, I mean I. It's that time of the night where I get a little hungry. Let's see what happens out here. That's Tuesday. Here's the Wednesday threat, and again, this is why it's kind of a flooding issue. You can see that heavy rain widespread across the area coming in on and off through the day. So that's there as early as the morning rush, right? In a few spots, it really picks up by lunchtime and the evening rush, and just kind of hangs with us through much of the day. I mean, that's 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock almost, right? That we're going to see some moderate to heavy rain. It's almost 12 hours of that before we dry back out a little bit. Thursday morning, still some showers out there. And then, Thursday evening into Friday morning, we're drying back out. Friday, for the most part, the longer we get in the day, the better the weather's going to be. So high school football looks great. A few peaks of sunshine out there. Other than a few showers trying to linger in our southeasternmost communities, I don't think we see many issues Friday night. Saturday and Sunday both look dry. High pressure settles back in. And then Sunday at 7 p.m., again, FC Cincinnati playing a Sunday match. Looks great for that. No issues on Sunday. Filtered sunshine at times, especially southeast. There are some tropical systems out there lurking. They're going to try to push their way towards the east coast. Nothing named. There is still Gabrielle. But there's 2 more systems out there that I didn't have enough time because we got bombarded earlier, as you know. But 2 more systems that have a good chance to become named, and this is going to be one of them, trying to push up towards the Ohio Valley there. You can see the rain pushing in from the southeast as we rock back and forth on Monday of next week. So it's a week away. A lot can change with this, right? But that's what that cloud cover would be from, filtered sunshine, and then maybe a slim chance for rain from that. I'm not expecting a whole lot. But if this was zoomed out a little bit more, you would be able to see it a little bit better. But that's, again, a tropical system that tries to push its way in. You can see another one the model has out there in the open ocean just south of Bermuda. So we'll keep our eyes on things for right now. And then what's left of Gabrielle goes that way. and big old nothing fish storm. So for us, we'll keep an eye on that system just to see what happens. That's a long ways out. That's the long-term trend. Let's talk about rain totals, right? Because, like I said, Wednesday could be a flooding issue for us. You can see that purple streak through there, and now push your eyes up a little bit, and you'll see the scale up there because I don't have the numbers turned on. But I mean, you start talking dark purple, that's over 3 inches of rain. We need rain to try to get rid of this drought. We don't need all of it at once. That's not a great idea. So flooding is an issue. Even the light blue shade, that's over 2 inches of rainfall, about half the tri-state. So flooding around, and especially southeast of downtown, that's a possibility. Let's see, I heard first alert weather day Wednesday. Do you think they'll be as strong as this afternoon? Good question, Jen. No, I don't think they're going to be as strong per se with like a tornado threat. But can't rule out damaging wind. And then, of course, the flash flooding, it will be an issue, I think, by the time we hit Wednesday. So something to keep an eye on there because we could see a lot of rain. Rain chances drop off for the weekend. I mean, perfect timing for the outdoor plans if you're trying to get out Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what's going on this week because, again, I got bamboozled earlier. I've been kind of out of the picture for the last couple of days doing personal things, and now I'm back off a little vacation stay, and I'm out of the loop. That's weird because it's only been a couple of days, but that's just how far I try to distance myself sometimes. So I don't know what events are going on this weekend. I'm sure we got all kinds of cool stuff happening. Let me see if I can just find some events on here and see what's going on. My calendar will let me know. Other than FC Cincinnati on Sunday and the Reds Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm trying to figure out what we got going on. We got some Fall Food Fest. We have Germania sitting up. That's way later. Hold on. Let's see. This coming weekend. I got to filter this. That was the like Chris Kindle Market or something like that. That's in November. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Maybe Restaurant Week happening this week. That's something. What do we got? We got farmers markets. I'm trying to see if there's any big events. The observatory is hosting Saturday at 6 o'clock. Meet a meteorite. Not a meteorologist, but a meteorite. Let's see what else we have going on. Spring Grove Cemetery, I think they're doing a tram tour on Sunday. That's interesting. Oh, it's a wellness festival. Yep, that's happening. Friday and what is that? It's in Saturday, 26th, 27th? Yeah. Friday and Saturday, Kroger Wellness Festival. That's going to be huge. It's down on 5th Street. So a ton of people will be down there for both days of that. Friday and Saturday both look pretty good. Later we get in the day, Friday, the better the weather's going to be, and then Saturday looks great all day. So you'll have no problems for that. Cincinnati Moon Festival, I don't know, whatever that is. Fountain Square, Saturday at 3. Interesting. Oh, what do we got here? I'm trying to see if there's any other big events I recognize on here. Those are probably the big ones. The Kroger Wellness Festival is going to be the biggest thing going on this weekend. And maybe that is why, I don't know, I'm sure there's a reason FC Cincinnati got bumped to Sunday. Let's see. Motor Pub has a party going on. Some bands. All right, that's all I got. Nothing huge this weekend that I can tell. Maybe there's some local Oktoberfest, but the big one's out of the way. Hopefully you got to get out there and enjoy some of that. It was great, a little hot in the later hose, and I can attest to that. But it was a nice weekend for it. Here's your 7 to 10 day forecast. We're going to start with 7, and then we'll work our way up. Again, Wednesday is a first alert weather day. You have been alerted. You've been alerted first. That is what is happening Wednesday. Primarily a damaging wind threat if we see any severe storms. Otherwise, it is a flooding threat. Keeping an eye on that. That could impact the Reds game Wednesday. Otherwise, I know there are some stormy icons there. Tuesday and Thursday, but if you read the fine print there, mostly in the morning Tuesday and just a spotty chance on Thursday. Can't say we won't run into issues at the early 12:40 first pitch on Thursday, but looking all right. More sun the later we get on Friday. Saturday and Sunday look great. Maybe some filtered sunshine, especially southeast on Sunday. And then clouds start to thicken again a little bit next week. Not expecting much in the way of rain from Saturday on. Just a slim chance. I think I have the chances like 10% because it's just too far out, but just a slim chance until next Thursday. That's the next chance there as we round out September and head into October. I know it's getting late. The 1st of October is next Wednesday. So it's that Wednesday with a high of 78, and then Thursday, the 2nd of October. We are working our way through the year in a hurry. 78 Wednesday, 76 Thursday. Nice weekend. Make some plans. Get out there, enjoy it. Not expecting much once we get past Wednesday, but we could be, a little waterlogged out there, drying out by the end of the week, because some areas could see over 2 inches of rainfall or more through the day Wednesday, which is why it is a first alert weather day. Without further ado, if you want to go back and look at all the fantastic warnings that were posted earlier on social media, you can check those out on Facebook and X if you haven't followed me already. Maybe you saw them in real time this evening. They were rolling in. We had a lot of them. Made a new one, and one's a video that posts, so that's nice. That's on Facebook and Twitter. Instagram, as you're going to find a lot of pictures here soon of me proposing. That is what that is. It's mostly personal stuff. Usually it's coffee. Sometimes it's as important as a proposal. That is happening. It's on Instagram right now. I think I was, collaborator or something on somebody's post. And by somebody, I mean my fiance. She collaborated with me. So that is on Instagram. We have other things happening out there. Facebook, all kinds of fun stuff. It's just that time of the year. There's always a ton of events. There's a ton of sports out there. The Reds are playing meaningful baseball, so you'll see me talking trash about Pittsburgh. Who knows what'll happen if you're on the socials there. Check those out. I would love if you followed that along, because I post interesting weather things too, to stay ahead of some of these storms. But great tool to have as well. One more time, I'm going to promote, because the bosses love this. Corporate folks love this. So one more time, I'm going to promote our app because, 1, it's free. 2, we, as meteorologists, update this regularly. It's a great tool to have. I have it on my phone. People always ask me, what weather apps do you use? Well, I use this one, among others. But this is one that I can get some quick information easily and for free. It costs you nothing other than some space on your phone. And with everybody in the cloud nowadays, it really doesn't matter. First Alert Weather app, download that. Great app to have. It'll send you push notifications, not just for severe weather, because you can have the government ones that come through anyway, right? But it'll tell you that. It'll also tell you when lightning's close by. The government's not going to do that. You get rain notifications when precipitation is pushing in. You're not going to get that without this app. So it's a great app to have, and it's a great price. It is free. I can't tell you enough. That is a free app. Great app to have. Thanks again. I think we'll close it out. I don't know. We'll see what the Newport camera looks like on a gloomy Monday night. Let's see what we got going here. See if we got any kind of sunrise happening. Sometimes when it rains, you get it. Nope, that's not going to be a good sunrise. That's a lousy looking sunrise. Sunrise officially was about 10 minutes ago, but we have nothing other than gloom showing up. Keep it tuned to Fox 19. If we have any severe storms rolling through, through the rest of the evening, you'll be sure to hear about it here first. Not expecting any big severe weather threats, but more storms could push in. Just be prepared for that if you have the outdoor plans. We'll let you go for the night. We'll be back tomorrow, later tonight at 10 and 11 for sure, but tomorrow as well at 7:15, you can catch me here on the stream on the 7:15 Weather Show. We'll see you again tonight.